Hello Spawn fans, coming back with you with a short video just to highlight a few variants that y'all might not be aware of. This first one is Image United #1. Now they did about probably 7 or 8 variant covers of this that don't go for anything. This one on the other hand does. It seems to go for no less than $75 on almost any given day. It is the Jim Lee variant. It is also the first appearance of Omega Spawn. This was around the time when Spawn was getting to issue 200, and Omega Spawn was a big deal. This also has the first 8-page preview of Haunt. He was sort of a character that's sort of in the Spawn mythos today and stuff. They tried to do his own thing. It didn't take off like they thought, so it kind of dragged out a little bit, but you could honestly say this is almost like his first appearance being an 8-page preview, if you prescribe to the fact that preview issues are first appearances. Some do, some don't. This is issue 216 of Spawn. This is when the low print runs really started to affect sales with Spawn, and there's not a whole lot to say about this one. I just wanted to show you the color version. But this one, the black and white version, is a lot more rare. Average comic book stores, even big ones, weren't ordering more than 5 Spawn comics at that time period. So this is actually a 1 in 8 variant. They were just trying to boost it up a little bit. Like, hey, you order 8 copies, we'll give you this black and white one. This is before the 1 in 25s. It wouldn't be until about 220 where they started doing the homage variants, which got a lot more popular, that they would start doing 1 in 25s. So this 1 in 8 is practically about the equivalent of a 1 in 25 at that time period, making this sort of a rare comic. I love the black and white cover of this. Now this one goes for quite a bit of money. The other issue 216 sells for an easy 100, sometimes more. This one, when I looked up the last sale on eBay, one sold for $300. And it was from the UK, so it had $30 shipping. So somebody with tax probably spent about $350 on it. Does it go for that all the time? Probably not. That was probably a good sale for the seller, but still a good variant to have to add to your Spawn collection. It looks pretty awesome when you see both of them together. So I'm kind of proud to have that one in the collection. This is just something I came across that I got for practically nothing. It's a Spawn Origins, but it's a hardback, trade paperback, collecting the earlier issues. And it's pretty cool just because if you just wanted to read them, they don't go for a whole lot. First printings do. This is actually a second printing, but I like the black and white art at the end, and they're like 300 pages to them. So if you ever just want to read Spawn, I love these hardbacks when it comes to trade paperbacks because, you know, hardbacks are always better. So if you can come across these, if you just want to read Spawn, it's kind of just a cool thing to have. Okay, on another note, I'm putting some comics up on eBay to sell. It's a 6-issue lot consisting of issues 221, 268, 276, 270, 281, and 266. Now this one is the one that everybody's going to want. Out of the homage covers, this one sells for probably the second most out of all of them. The issue 230, the Batman one, seems to sell for the most. This one right here looks to be in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of a spine tick that could probably be pressed out. A little bit of a denting on there upon close inspection that you don't really probably not see on the camera. But I'd say it's probably about a 9. It's somewhat near mint. It's not 9.8, which I know everybody seems to want. But all in all, it's a good comic. I don't think anybody would be disappointed with the condition unless you just really are looking for a 9.8. But I would say it's at least very fine, near mint. Next one is 268, which is just an awesome cover. This one looks to be in pretty solid shape. I didn't really notice anything crazy on it when first looking at it. And just a pretty cool cover to have. This one is the first appearance of the Dark Horse story. It has a little bit of a denting up there when I looked at it, but still all in all pretty good. This one right here is for Soul Crusher. a pretty cool Spawn villain. Now it does have like some kind of like creasing down here at the bottom. It could probably be pressed out. Looks like a little non-color breaking spine tick right there. All that could probably be pressed out if you do that kind of thing. But like I say, I think Spawn comics should be read. I don't think they're comics that should necessarily be slabbed, because these stories, I think, are actually really worth reading. You know, flip through them, enjoy them. They're comics. I mean, they are very artistic, and the covers are always great, but unless you're just really trying to slab everything because you like it slabbed, I prefer the raw comics. This one's the worst one. This one was sold to me as near mint, but it got damaged in shipping. And out of all these, this one has the worst condition just because it looks like the box that was in was dropped. So it has this crease right there at the top where the box was dropped and it wasn't protected very well. And that does go through the entire story. Could it be pressed out? I don't know. I'm not a person that does pressing. It could probably have something done to it to help it out. I don't know about the interior pages that have that same crease through it. But it's still a cool comic. And for the price I'm going to put them for, you know, I don't think you'll be losing out. And it's still cool to have. This one, it has sort of that little crease going right here, where it's like, you know, somebody's read it, almost like a rolled up newspaper. Now, I know things like that can be pressed out, because I've seen it all the time. So this must have been a comic that was well read. This is Erik Larsen art. That's Ant. Don't know a whole lot about that character. I just know it's some random Image character. But the crossover stories were pretty cool. Looks like it might have a little dent down there. Not perfect either. I would say these comics right here all are like fine. Well, fine plus, fine minus, and that crease. I don't know how they really would grade that with just that. Everything good except for that spot. This one, even with that, which I think could be pressed out. I mean, this is a pretty major Spawn villain in the newer Air. That, you know, this comic can go for like $30. 221. This one's just a cool one. Nothing really key about it. So, kind of like two major keys out of this, with the 221 just being what it is, and the 270 being First Soul Crusher. So just kind of wanted to highlight that. That way I can like post it up on the eBay page when I sell it, and tell people if they want to see the collection a little bit closer, they can look at it. I think it's better than just looking at a lot of pictures. Maybe a little bit more transparent than just trying to give grades. Grading is so subjective. Would I submit any of these to CGC? Probably not. I mean, unless you wanted to just have them slabbed. But I would probably just keep them. I mean, they look bagged. I mean, bagged and boarded. They look great, you know. And I have all my Spawns in a box, and it's just, I love flipping through them and seeing them in chronological order. I have every issue, so it's very fun to do that. That's kind of like how I collect. But just kind of wanted to highlight on these two issues. I think they're very cool, and give a little bit of some information on this one. Like I say, most Spawn fans probably don't know about this because it's not actually a Spawn title, but just a crossover event that was done. Well, not really even a crossover event. It's sort of like a Secret Wars kind of thing. But if you can come across this, it's a great comic to have. Like I say, I don't think a lot of people know about it. So if you want just the regular first appearance, they don't go for anything. But this Jim Lee cover does. And for good reason, because it's a beautiful cover. And this thing's in great shape. So anyway, love to hear your comments. Please like. If you're a Spawn fan, comment below on anything. I can talk Spawn all day, so be happy to hear from y'all. All right, thank y'all and have a good night.